Hi, this is Steve Michelotti from Applied Information Sciences. In this brief video, I'm going to show a demonstration of the proposed Chicago Evidence Management System to give an idea of the types of things that are possible. Now, before I start a demonstration, what I'm going to do first is spend about 2 or 3 minutes just showing a quick overview so we get some background concepts of the demonstration that you're about to see. First off, I want to state the goals as I understand them for the Chicago Evidence Management System. First, we want a secured online form to be able to submit these types of video requests. We might have video clips from different cameras around the city. They might be for different durations, different locations, and we need an online form to be able to submit that. We certainly don't want to be dealing with paper forms. Additionally, we want this to be authenticated, and we're going to provide this authentication via Azure Active Directory. Also, we want the camera selection process to be really simple and intuitive. We want that to be an easy process for the user. Which cameras are they getting these video clips from? And then the next thing is we need to encode these videos with a format that's really something that's suitable for online viewing. The videos that are currently harvested are in G64 and ASF formats, and those are standard formats to use for things like security cameras, but they're certainly esoteric formats to use for something like online video viewing. Those are not appropriate formats for that type of thing. So what we're going to use is Azure Media Services to be able to do an encoding process to take those files in G64 and ASF formats and put them into a smooth streaming format or even an MP4 format, things that are more appropriate for online viewing. And finally, we're going to create temporary URLs for each of these videos. These are temporary locators. A locator might last for an hour, it might last for days, however long we want that person to have access to that video. Now, quickly, some high-level architecture. What you're going to see is we first and foremost have this Azure web app. That's where the video requests will be made. And this web app is secured via Azure Active Directory. That's how it's locked down. Now, when we make these requests for these video clips, what's going to happen is that video request is going to go on an Azure queue. And once that message gets put on an Azure queue, we have a web job, an Azure web job that's watching that queue, listening to that queue, waiting for encoding requests to come in. And when it gets those requests, it says, okay, I'm going to start a new encoding job. It's going to do that by invoking Azure Media Services. And then we have a feature of Azure Media Services where when the job is complete, it can provide another notification that it's complete. So we'll have what we'll call a finalization queue, and that's another Azure queue. And when that finalization queue gets messages, we know that that requested job is now complete. So we have a separate web job that watches that, and what's that going to do is it is going to create that temporary URL locator as well as send an email to the originating user to let them know that your videos are ready, and by the way, here's a link to your videos. Just very quickly, here are some technologies that are used in this demonstration. The UI is built with Angular, as I mentioned, locked down with Azure Active Directory, ADAL, that's Azure Active Directory Authentication Library. Of course, we're using ASP.NET Web API. I already mentioned Azure Media Services, and then Azure Web Jobs and Web Queues. So with that, let's get to the demonstration. Now here I am in the Chicago Evidence Management System. I'm actually already logged in. I'm going to show the actual login process a little bit later, but for now I've already put in my username and password. I'm in and I'm authenticated. And this is just a brief home screen that shows some directions to start, create a video request and submit it. Then you can watch the progress of your encoding job, and when the job is complete, you'll receive an email. So just quick directions there. What I'm going to do is click this link up here called Video Requests, and that'll take me to the Video Request screen. And let's fill out some values on this screen. So I'll just put in my name, Steve Michelotti, and then we have different requester types that we can select. I'll do sworn officer, incident types, different incident types available. Now for the incident start date, what I'll do is say, hey, let's take last Friday night. So that's May 29th, and let's say we want last Friday night at 8 p.m. And how long do we want this video? Do you want, here we have hours, minutes, and seconds. Maybe we want 15-minute clip starting at 8 p.m. or 20-minute clip, however long it may be. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to do a 20-second clip to make it a little bit quicker, but we can put hours, minutes, and seconds here for our duration. Now the next thing is we want to select the incident location. What cameras do we want? And for this, what we want to do is we want to be able to actually specify an address or even select cameras specifically. So I'm going to click this green button here, select cameras, and you can see it in the parentheses, it says map. And when I do that, it shows me a map. Now, by default, it shows my current location, and I happen to be located in Columbia, Maryland. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste a different address in here. This is actually a Chicago address near City Hall, and I'm going to click this map button. And by doing that, it takes me to that address, and I have the full power here of Google Maps. And you can see right in here, this is my location of the address that I just typed in. And all these red camera icons represent cameras that are all around this address. And I can select any one of these cameras. I can toggle them on or off. So green means, yes, I've selected them. I want them to be included in this process. And of course, we have the full power of Google Maps, so I can go over to satellite view. I can zoom in even farther. And let's look at this one right here. We see this, I've got two cameras selected, but I have this third one right here just to the left of my location. And maybe I'm not sure if I want to include this one or not. So what I can do is grab the street view, and I'll grab this guy and drop him right on top of that camera. And now we can rotate around and we can see the types of things that are around here. And we say, oh, yeah, you know what? Yes, this is what we want. This does look like a good location. So let's select that one as well. So now I've got 3 cameras selected here. I'm just going to go ahead and click Save. And now you can see, yep, we've got 3 cameras selected. Now for incident location direction, I can just say what direction, let's say north. Maybe we might want to change that so we get a different direction for every camera. The next text box here, you can see this notification email is an optional email address. This is where the notification email will be sent upon job completion. So let me go in here and type in my applied IS email account. And then the next thing, link duration. This is a number in minutes until the link expires. So I'm going to set this for 60 minutes. And so it could be maybe a day. In this case, I've set it for 1 hour, but that's how long I want the link to live before it expires and the person no longer has access to it. Now this last checkbox right here, video available for direct download, what that means is if I do not check this checkbox, they'll get a link to the video and they'll see a smooth streaming format. And of course, they can't download a smooth streaming video because it's streamed live. But if I do check this checkbox, then what's going to happen is, in addition to the smooth streaming format, they will also get a link to download an MP4 file and they can view it for offline viewing. So either one is available. In this case, I will say yes, check that box. And so now we're ready to submit the video for review. So I'm going to submit the video request. And what it's done now is it's kicked us over to the job queue. Now, actually, what happens is we don't even see the video request job that we just created, and it kicked us over to the screen so fast it's not even showing up on the screen. These jobs you're seeing right here are jobs that were already pre-existing. So let's just wait a few seconds and wait for the job that we just created to actually show up on the screen. Okay, so now it showed up. And you can see the progress. If I zoom in here real close, you can see it actually says 0%. It's not easy to see, but let's let this work. It may take 2 or 3 minutes. So let's let this work and finish the encoding process. And what's happening during this encoding process is it's now taking that G64 or ASF file format and it's encoding it to a format that's appropriate for smooth streaming or even an MP4 file download. Okay, we can see it's 63% completed with the encoding job, so it's getting close to the end. We'll just wait a few more seconds for it to complete. Okay, now we can see it's 100% complete, but what's interesting here is we don't actually have a link output yet. So the encoding job is complete, but has not yet reached the notification queue. Oh, and there we go. Now the link has just come on and it says that it's 55 minutes remaining. Now the reason it says 55 minutes remaining instead of 60 is because I set it to 5 minutes before the actual start time. And I did that so that in case there was any mismatch of server time and client time, we just did that to be safe. So now we have 55 minutes remaining. It took 2 minutes and 22 seconds for that job. I kicked the video forward a little bit so we didn't have to wait for that entire 2 minutes. Now we can actually click on this output and see the video. In fact, let's do that. Let's open it in a new tab. And we can come over here and we can actually see the video on this screen. And we can see there's our smooth streaming player. And we have 3 different videos because we selected 3 different cameras. But actually, before we play the videos on that screen, what I'm going to do instead is I want to flip over to my email. And let's wait to see this notification email come in. So I'm in my email, the inbox is empty. Let's just wait a few more seconds for this notification email to arrive. Okay, and there is the email that just came through. You can see it's from CEM admin. It says your video is ready for viewing, and then we can see it down here saying, here's your requested video for the Chicago Evidence Management System, now ready for viewing. It's going to be available for the next 60 minutes at this link here. And if I mouse hover over this link, we can see the link to that video. What I'm actually going to do, instead of just clicking it directly, I'm going to right-click this, and I'm going to copy the hyperlink. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely close this browser window because I want you to see the authentication process. So I'm going to open a brand new incognito window so there's no authentication whatsoever. And I'm going to paste in the URL and hit enter here. And it's going to take us to the Azure Active Directory authentication screen. You can see this is for Chicago Evidence Management System. And we actually have two-factor authentication set up. So the first thing I'm going to do is put in my username, CEMuser@Michelotti. I'm just using my own tenant here, michelotti.onmicrosoft.com. And let me put in my password. Now I put in my password. Now, when I click sign in, it needs to use two-factor authentication here. So it's actually going to call my cell phone. Now, once my cell phone is called, I can just immediately click the pound button to verify and go into the app. But instead, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to let you listen to the message so you can see the type of message it plays. But in normal circumstances, I can just go through this process very quickly. All right, so let's go ahead and do that now. I'm going to click sign in. You can see it's calling my phone number that's ending in 19. So I'll just hold my phone close to the microphone so you can hear it. It's about to start ringing. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and answer my phone.
Thank you for using Microsoft Sign-In Verification System. Please press the pound key to finish your verification. If you do not initiate this verification, someone may be trying to access your account. Please press £0 to submit a fraud alert. This will notify your company's IT team and block further verification attempts.
So I'm just going to click pound to verify normally.
Your account has been verified.
Now watch the screen closely. The screen just refreshed automatically on its own just by virtue of the fact that I clicked the pound on my phone. It's not like I did anything extra on the screen. The screen was just waiting, and it noticed real time that I did that authentication on my phone by hitting the pound, that verification. And as soon as I hit the pound key on my phone, boom, the website just authenticated, and now we're in, and we can see the 3 different videos that we got from the 3 different cameras. And we can see here it says smooth streaming player, so we can go ahead and play the video. You can see we've got a 20-second clip here, and you can see the cars driving by on the street. And in addition to this smooth streaming format, you're going to see that up here we have this download MP4 file. And up here you can see it says we can right click and then say save link as to download this MP4 file. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to right click and say save link as, and it's going to download to download.mp4. And let's go ahead and show that in the folder. And here it is right here. And I'm just going to double click this file, and you can see there we have it. We can see the offline viewing of this video file. And if you want to allow that sort of thing, they can, view it offline, and now they actually have access to this, and it doesn't expire after 1 hour or whatever you've set that to. So if you want to allow that sort of thing, then that's another option that is available as well. So this has been a brief demo to illustrate some of the things that are possible with the Chicago Evidence Management System. We certainly have the flexibility to take this in many different directions depending on the desired features. And we welcome hearing any and all feedback. Thanks for watching.